I do this every time. I forget we don't do this for Boko. Yeah, it's us three. We're back.
Baba booey, baba booey.
If you just watched the podcast, you know what we're about to do. It's I like that we did kind of half of them. We're doing the virus busters because Nightmare Soldiers is long gone. So we're gonna come up with something and be like, wow, this is crazy. There's no way they would print this. And then they're gonna print something even more whack. And we're gonna be like, damn, we should have gone harder.
This one's cool because in the previous ones we've talked a little bit about like the hype of like what would be nice to have, but in this VPET for Virus Booster specifically, you have Andrew's going to have the mispleasure of recording with two guys fully ready to cope over the Digimon in this VPET because I can get Omnimon cards and Terry can get Angels cards. So it's dubs all the way up here, gentlemen. I do have to hang with Gabumon again, but hey, it is what it is.
There's also potential. I see Gamamon cards in there. I own a Gamamon pile somewhere.
Yeah, I was gonna say Gamamon is the red deck that couldn't. It was so much cooler when it got LM on time in Japan, and then it never managed to make a splash. I'm sorry to like the 19 Gamamon guys who will descend upon this video like hawks. I do think it has potential. It's just Bandai doesn't like it as much as you guys do.
All right, I guess do we go into do we just want to just jump straight into it? As always, big thank you to Humulos and the Digimon Pendulum Color Evolution Guide for basically making this one of the easiest videos to make from a looking at the past thing. And then I remember that I have to do Notepad for this, and oh boy, a bunch of my Notepad stuff disappeared. Splendid.
It is what it is. No, but yeah, we appreciate the folks at Digimon Hatchery. Get a VPET, y'all. VPETs are up more than ever. The like monster. I don't know if you guys. It's not really related to the topic of the video, but the Monster Hunter VPETs that they're doing as like tie-ins have like entered the third wave of pre-orders now. Like they're the most sold VPET of all time. So VPETs are in. I got my Agumon one. So I keep that MF thing on me. Right. Gentlemen, it's gonna be a dub.
And if you're seeing this again and, Virus Plus has already come out and like, wow, they were way off just like we were for Deep Savers, become a champion or higher. Appreciate. If you do, it means you get to see. I mean, I say this like this isn't... Okay, it's no longer the most represented because hella Digi-Eggs be popping up. Shoutouts. But yeah, no, for all of y'all that are enjoying the free content and get to see it mad early, I hope it's been fun. I mean, people have been sticking around. It's probably the tier with the fewest cancellations. So we're doing something right when we do it.
W. All right. We're in there.
I forgot how we laid this out last time, but I think we just went like Digi-Egg.
Yeah. So the thing with this is that it's kind of not going to be like the others, because if our theory holds up, this product is going to mostly come from starter decks. So we're very likely to get most of, like, at least a big chunk of these lines all at once, as opposed to like getting them as different pieces.
What if they were just two halves of the starter decks? Like you just bought both and like it's like Pokemon Red and Blue and they're just like buy both so you can trade your exclusive.
I legit think that like the Agumon starter deck will probably be like Nyaromon Egg, and then the lines will be Agumon and what's it called? Salamon. Yeah. And like the thing that makes them playable together will all be that they're VB tagged Digimon. But like, they'll still be Greymons and Garurumons for the Omnimon deck. They'll all still be Angels for the Angels deck.
Yeah, they could do a brother tie-in, a brother sister tie-in for like TK and Kari. It's not TK and Kari, Tai and Kari.
Tai-Kari.
Yeah, the Kamiyas and the Ishidas.
Yeah, I like that. Now the we I guess get off to the straight question, because I was gonna say like, oh, that allows like Gamamon and Gabumon to be like the red and blue, but like a lot of these colors all share colors. When Agumon's not red, he's yellow, and Salamon is basically always yellow. So like, what colors do we think that our eventual level 7 is going to be ending on?
I am confident that Omnimon will be, if he's either going to finally be 3-color white, red, blue, or he'll stay mono white. I'm leaning more towards mono white. I think the thing with white, red, blue is that like technically they printed Wisteria memory boosts so that like Omnimon.deck could use that better by finding Omnimon.
I feel like you're correct on the red blue. I genuinely don't think it'd be white, just because none of the other level 7s that have been printed for these pendulum decks have been white. Like TCG was what, blue green, no, green
is,
yellow black.
Yeah, green yellow black.
The Nightmare Soldier's purple black yellow.
I think it's gonna be the same as the secret Gallon X.
Red blue yellow. That's what I was thinking.
Really? Okay, so that's interesting. I think they've been avoiding giving Agumon or Gabumon an advantage, right? So like keeping it red blue means it's still equally searchable by trainings and stuff in Garurumon or Greymon boxes. But like they've made it pretty clear that like it's support. Let me read the press release actually. Let me just find this. There'll be like the most recent entry is starter deck. Wow. Let me open the reveals page. I think it's been described as like, SG20 and 21 are Protector of Light and Hero of Hope. So it's 20 will use War Greymon and 21 uses Metal Garurumon as trump cards. So at least from just the press information, we know it's going to be those two. I'm presuming they'll probably be red and blue.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see though if this would be like, it's kind of like the starter decks where they expect like an EX7 kind of like release goes with it. So like most of your virus stuff is in the starter decks, and then to finish it off and get your Omnimon that like conjoins the two pieces, you need the extra booster to finish it. Because like as much as white makes sense for Omnimon, I just think because none of the pendulum decks have used white as a color, you're more likely to see 3 real colors. And like as much as they just gave it to Gallantmon X, yellow, like I said, if Agumon isn't red, he's yellow.
Or black.
That is true.
Outside of like the black Agumons, when is he ever black?
He's been black in BT12 with the whole of Ty's line.
Yes, that's
and the starter deck ST16.
The new Veemon one, yeah.
Yeah, the new Veemon Agumon.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
And then I guess also ping pong, but like that's kind of different. So I think it'll be an interesting thing to chess around with. The kicker is that like because it's coming out in our assumption from starter decks, they like hypothetically could do something very funny here, which is that this could be the first time that a deck gets like, we know that one of them is listed as like it's about War Greymon and the other one is about Metal Garurumon. But how funny would it be if they printed 2 different Omnimons? Like that we're coming at this like this is the same as the Nightmare Soldiers and the Deep Sabers and the Nature Spirits, right? But this is a starter deck. The wheels are off, gang. They could be about to give us 3 level 7s to mess around with. Like we have no idea what they're gonna do. They're already probably giving us like 4 level 6s to play with all at once instead of the usual 2.
What if they were like DNA, like, you know, red, blue or whatever, and then they had DNA 2 NSOs on Virus Busters? Yeah.
Well, that's the thing is like Omnimon DNA last time was like a Greymon and a Garurumon, right? So it's like DNA Greymon Garurumon or DNA Virus Buster.
Because then you could just print one Omni, one Mastay, one Proxima, and just go, yeah, good enough.
Yeah, so it'll be cool. The Mastemon's funny too, because like the card we haven't had yet is we haven't had the Mastemon in Nature Spirits yet, because Gatomon is also a Nature Spirit Digimon. Like Digimon inhabit multiple fields in the canons. So Gatomon is also a Nature Spirit tagged Digimon in a lot of lines. It hasn't been printed in the card game yet, but one of the funny things is Mastemon is a DNA you can make in the Nature Spirits and Nightmare Soldiers VPETs. So having it here as well is cool too, because it's like maybe we'll get more Mastemon support. So you know, is it going to be a level 7 like they did in the VPET here? I don't think so.
You see, the problem is I still see them making the Omnimon like 3 colors, but they'll give you the exact same Omnimon, but they're going to do like a Vortex Guardians and like Fabled Waltz, where it's like, here's Omnimon, but here's different art showing you the different arms. That's going to be the...
Oh yeah, he's just flexing with a different arm each time.
I would go crazy for that. I'll tell you what though, the other thing is that like if they give this deck, like in terms of like what it'll have on its own, it's like separate to how they'll do it. Like maybe it'll do like certain things if it's got virus busters, or like this is the thing is like I almost think they can't give it. They might have to treat it like a DNA level 7 has been in the past, where it's like does one thing if it DNAs, it does another thing if it just evolves, because it can't say if it's got Greymon and Garurumon and or Virus Buster, because the Greymon and Garurumon could be Virus Busters. So what would you get if you had both things live at once? Like we've never had that in the card game before. So I think it'll be really interesting to see like where they kind of shake out in terms of like what the line is. I also think like so long as it just does a good enough Digivolve DNA effect, it'll probably be good enough to see play an Omnimon dot deck separately from this. So like I think I'm not like, you know, I'm more excited at the prospect of a Virus Busters Omnimon than Omnimon Turbo, even though I play the hell out of Omnimon Turbo, just because I think Omnimon Turbo is like a safe bet. So we'll see what they do. I'm impressed. I don't know if you guys have kept up with the reveals for the Deep Sabers and Nightmare Soldiers this week. The flavor has been nuts. So I think we might straight up be about to get like another BT15 Salamon tier Salamon. I think we might be straight up about to get another Gatomon that is as good as the Gatomon from 16. Like I think we might be about to get like the whole 9 yards here. So like, you know, we can get crazy with these predictions. Like I'm talking like play when I'm burned out of security Gatomon tier.
Yeah, we learned that what we thought would be way too overtuned wasn't even close to the same pack that Bandai was smoking.
Yeah, Aegistramon is just not listening, bro. He's got the AirPods in. Yeah, it's sick.
Okay, so do we want to start assigning colors to our rookies? Because we're pretty sold. Like it's Nyaromon. Like
yeah, Yellow Egg Nyaromon feels like the pick for me, fellas. I don't know if you guys agree. I think one of the two Dex Digi Eggs will be Yellow Egg Nyaromon. That's why.
Yeah, I could see that. It just feels like the fairly standard one because it's only Nyaramon's only ever been
yellow and green.
Yeah, yellow, green, and there's
purple.
Purple.
What if we just got two Nyaromons and they were just different colors depending on the starter deck?
Well, I suspect we'll probably get like Nyaromon and Sunomon, because the thing is like the Koromons that go with the Secret Greymon are for Omnimon as well. So it's like a Sunomon to catch them up would be good.
I think weirdly in my head though, I think they'd do something strange. Like it'd be like a red Nyaromon for no other reason than just like we'll pair it with the, it's still Greymon kind of thing because it will change color, but they'd probably give you like the line that goes Digivolves off of like Salamon or like Nyaromon. And then the Sunomon,
crazy
yellow Sunomon. If you're gonna do it, yellow Sunomon, I think that would be probably
yellow
something.
Sunomon. Oh my god, Red Nyaro would go crazy for like Sylphimon too. That would be a cool inclusion to give.
Yeah, yellow Sunomon is diabolical. That is just straight up acknowledging.
Has there ever been a yellow Gabumon card?
No,
and I think that would be really interesting to do, because especially if you're going to pair him with like for the next one like TK, it would sort of make sense in my head to give that side like a yellow egg so you can sort of use some of the TK support.
Yeah, I kind of dig it as well, because like especially for Frontiers, how they kind of said that all of these spirits are kind of attached to a color. Like Gabumon is still, and like Garurumon is still considered light. So it would be interesting to like finally give us some yellow, like kind of abandon the like kind of virus purple Melga stuff and go, yeah, but what if he was just like actually loving life and the lizard,
ice and light.
Yeah, like what if he was actually doing that for once?
I could see it. I mean, like for posterity's sake here, rather, I think also a Tokomon and Koromon are possible because, like, again, they've said that this is supposed to be, like, I think verbatim, the idea is it supports, let me make sure I read this correctly. Both decks can be combined with each other in some way. So, like, I think the idea is pretty, like, oh, yeah, you'll be able to, like, pick and choose the pieces and stuff like that. So, I don't necessarily know what that means for Gamamon. Gamamon obviously is the odd duck out here, but out of the existing field decks that we've had, there's typically one rookie that doesn't make the cut. We still haven't got Angoromon in the Nature Spirits. So,
and we haven't seen a new Jellymon in Deep
We haven't
Savers
seen
have.
a Deep Savers Jellymon. We
Yeah.
haven't seen the Lugamon in Nightmare Soldiers.
Yeah, I think that pretty much confirms that like if it's a pro tag from like a smaller series, they're not making it in.
Yeah.
They also, I will say this too, Angoramon, Jellymon, and Lugamon all obviously did not exist when the original Pendulums were released. They were added as part of the color to be like, look, it's modernized. So like in the Metal Empire, there's like Commandermon as well, which is crazy. So yeah, it would be cool. But I think it also opens the door to like, you know, kind of tribal support. Like this is the thing, right? Like it's a Virus Busters deck, but bro, if there was ever an archetype more archetype locked than Greymon, I'd love to see it. So like Agumon and Greymon cards are gonna have to play nice with other things for the first time in a while, which is crazy. Like, is every inherit in this deck gonna read while I'm VB or my name? Like, it's gonna be some spaghetti ass inherit effects. I'll tell you what. Barrier while I'm VB, raid while I'm Greymon.
Yeah, it would be gross as well to try and do all of like the Canawise stuff with Gamamon. So I'm pretty happy to just not acknowledge the bottom half of this graph and just kind of go from here.
Yeah, poor Gamamon. Like I said, I'm not trying to neg the Gamamon homies, but like I just think he's probably do his own support separately, and he ain't gonna line up with like the starter deck for the Kamiyas. You know what I mean? Like in our little tinfoil hat theory here. So that leaves us with Greymon, Garurumon, Anjumon, Gatomon, Leomon, and good old freaking Ninjamon, dude. So we'll have to see. I don't think we're gonna get Leomon and Ninjamon, guys. I'm gonna.
I could potentially see a Leomon.
I think we might get a Leomon.
Okay.
Because, well, he fits both into the blue and yellow aesthetic because you've had both a yellow Leomon and the blue one. I could see it being on deletion. Like it could be like. I could see them being more of a consistency based deck. So like on deletion, search either your like top 5 or top 3, or if they're feeling like really creative, like your security for a virus buster a virus buster in trait. I'd probably say probably more on deletion. It'd probably be more from the deck, I think.
Yeah, because the other decks have all had an on deletion like consistency piece, and like Leomon that's his whole thing. And a blue Leomon, Jerry has been waiting for a blue Leomon since EX2. It would be really funny if this was just like low key like Jerry.deck like support if they just made a blue Leomon that was just like, I feel like if it was blue, it would have to steal memory because the last two have both stolen memory. Like old blue Leomon stole memory when it was on delete. EX2 steals memory and draws. So I wouldn't be surprised if we just got a complete retrain of the Jerry Leomon and it was just blue. Hey, something bad happened to your stack. Cool.
I could see it. I think we're also likely to like, you know, one of the things we've had consistently with these field decks is we've had like a searcher that searches for like the kind of tags plus the fields. So like the Gomamon from Deep Savers finds Deep Savers and sea animals. The Tentomon finds bugs and nature spirits, for example. So like I think something akin to that out of either the rookies or the fours makes the most sense to me.
Salamon has found beasts before as the green one, so maybe we could see another green Salamon that finds beasts. Becomes Leomon support.
You got me messed up thinking about Red Nyaramon. Sylphimon's a beastkin, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Dude, it would be Sylphimon's support if it searched for beast tags. Like, I don't know. I'm hearing the vision here. I would quite like the searcher to be Agumon, because if it's find a Virus Buster and a Greymon, that would be it would have to, if it found Greymon, it would still miss him. Oh no, Virus Buster would be himself.
But it would only find that Agumon.
Yeah, he has the potential to be the first Agumon in red that finds itself.
Arguably, there could do something like it. You know how the other ones did specifically like types. What if it did like attribute, for example? Because I think we have had a like the Kudamon, which searches for like specifically vaccine. And like I think we've had one that potentially that was yellow. I think there's one that searched for blue. So arguably, it could be something like it would search for a virus buster and or a vaccine trait, because that covers
all of them.
that pretty much covers
Gabumon himself is data, I think, but then the Garurumon line is all vaccine, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, so the Virus Buster covers the Gabumon, and then the vaccine covers basically, well, yeah,
Well,
everything.
actually, apparently Melg is a data type. Garuru and Weregaruru are vaccine types, but apparently Metal Garurumon is a data. Today I learned.
Cyborg something something.
Yeah, I don't know, bro. They hate him like that.
Like I could see them doing it more like based on that one specifically, especially with like a name of Virus Busters. I feel leaning into the whole vaccine, like we hate viruses kind of vibe would work.
Yeah, the Virus Busters, the name is on the tin here. Like, they hate these dudes. They come looking for them. So this is like a great chance for like a similar to Angemon and Secret Rare BT14 effect, where it's like targeted attribute removal, or like at least like maybe not even necessary removal. Like, what if the Greymons got big fighting viruses, or what if the Garurumons unsuspend if your opponent has a virus?
I was gonna say, what if the Leomon hammer sparked, and then if your opponent had a virus, they were like, give me more.
Yeah.
More memory.
That's another bigger tax. Yeah, they just printed Gallimon X. He's pushed as hell, and they're like, well, now we make a whole new archetype to defeat this Digimon.
Yeah, I hadn't even thought
brother.
about the like condition, like now that we have like a lot of conditional removal, like Noble Family Arts is a great one of like, if this, do this, then do more if this. I think that's really funny as like a Virus Busters idea.
I could see it. So are we, from the vibe I'm getting from us brainstorming this, how confident are we in just being like, the Digimon we expect are Agumon, Gabumon, Salamon, Patamon lines? Like, is that where we're at here? Because obviously Patamon himself not necessarily on the image in front of us, but like it's TK and Matt, right? Like we know that much.
Yeah, TK, Matt, Taikari.
Yeah, I'd be happy with those. I think I'd see those for. I think because I think it'd be very interesting as well, because I think they'll do a weird anti-synergy with this Patamon, like because it's also a data, because it's naturally a data type or something. So they're like just make it like
But what if he finally got a Patamon that searched, like a Patamon that's like searched for virus busters and vaccines? That would be very fitting for Patamon.
Yeah, so when they hit the SR.
Yeah, he would search a little worse than Kunamon, or maybe he doesn't have an inherit, so he's not quite as good as Kunamon. But
well, arguably they could just straight up do a retrain of BT14, except for specifically being like.
Only virus busters.
Only a virus buster.
I've always kind of hoped they'd say Angels, because that way Angels gets new toys, because Angels is like a very promising yellow deck.
Yeah, I mean, it could say Angels or Virus Busters, because it locks out a lot of old support, and it kind of really keeps you on like Angels.deck or Virus Busters.deck.
Well, Angels is also like so restrictive that it doesn't even work with Gatomon, because like they're trying to push you towards like Pitomon from securities and what's the other level 4 that they got in? Oh, my brain is fried. It doesn't matter. There have been numerous Angel level 4s that they've been printing to help supplement like
Centaurmon? No, he's data.
No, he's not even an Angel. Yeah, I think it's Pitomon and Angemon, but Angemon. What was the? Oh, it was Angemon and EX.
Yeah, it's Pitomon and Angemon. The barrier one and like
the play from security guy. That card's really obnoxious, by the way. I started testing against Angels. Holy moly. They sack you so bad. It's so frustrating. I checked a guy one time with like 2 checks. First check was Pitomon. Second check was Final Excalibur. I'm like, okay.
With what colors are we assigning these? Because that's the thing that we do.
Okay, I'm calling my shot here. Because we know the theming on this is like the Kamiya's in a lot of senses, I think it's Patamon yellow, Agumon red, Gabumon blue, Salamon purple. I don't necessarily think they'll all be one color, but I think those are the ways that they've like separated them out in the past.
I just don't know that we get purple in Virus Busters.
I think my personal thing is I think they would still keep it like. I think I think it'd be yellow, red, blue, yellow.
Yeah.
Or arguably again, or I think it would be blue, red, blue, red. Because we've had blue Patamons before.
We've had blue TK.
We've had blue TK. So in theory, it gives you the base of like you both have like blue starting points. But in my head, I see the structure decks being like effectively red yellow for War Greymon, and then blue yellow for Metal Garurumon in my head.
I could see that. I could see that. I was just checking to see if the press release had anything else, but given that it doesn't necessarily say a color, I do actually see the vision. Also, like, again, yellow keeps Salamon potentially more usable for like a Selfimon deck too. So like, if you're just a fan of Kari from Adventure, like it kind of gives you more that way.
Yeah, now that they're trying to push Kari as like a hey, you know, O2 exists rather than like, hey, Salamon is a necessary card to make Gatomon make Mastay, they're kind of pushing her away from purple.
Yeah, and then I think from this time my head it works. The Salamon would probably digivolve off of like, I don't know, arguably yellow red for like 1, unless it was specifically the Nyarmon again or something like that. And then I think the Gabumon and Agumon would just straight up digivolve off of their respective like 1 color. But I think they could potentially do the other ones with like TK and Kari, because they also both have like the sort of differing lines as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean, even if they ended up monocolor, as long as they could just Lightfang Nightclaw it, where it's just like evolves off of Thingy-Mabob Egg for 0.
Yeah, that's what they did with Nature Spirits. Is they all evolve over green eggs, but like they can also evolve over any Nature Spirit egg. So
yeah, I think that's
Nightmare Soldiers was a little different, where it's like instead of evolving over blue, they evolve only over the tag. So maybe this would be different, where it's like they'll evolve over their name or their tag. Because like again, these are such archetype locked deck designs that like it gets kind of complicated.
All right. So this was Garurumon. There's no shot that Eagomon is like actually the first pick, right? Like he's getting added in a booster set for giggles, right?
Yeah, they're not bringing Ninjamon and Leomon into the sets, bro. Like, if they're bringing anyone that's not the 4, it's 100% the Gamamon stuff first. There's no way Ninjamon makes.
Yeah, it's crazy that this goes from like we've got so much stuff and it's actually just going to be pro tag. It's going to be pro tag sibling box, and then
it's a starter deck, right? Like that's the difference this time.
Yeah.
It's so weird because like I still think it opens a lot of choices for design, but like they do be called Kamiya and Dishida.
Okay, so what we should instead design is the EX19. Wait, EX.
EX9,
what are we on?
Brother.
The EX9 Eagomon and Leomon.
Summer.
Yeah, because
EX9 Leomon and Ninjamon. Oh my god. I mean, I cooked with. I think you guys figured it out with Leomon, like high key on delete. That like, listen, if we're making this just off of like total crackhead deck building, we've designed 0 card text so far, and I'm 100% ready to die on the hill that all of these cards do something if your opponent has a virus.
Yep.
Every card, if the Omnimon sees that you have a virus, I'm ready for him to do something. Ready for War Greymon to gain raid against viruses. Like,
I think the Leomon guarantees steals memory on delete. I think the if virus buster is either going to be more memory, a draw, or I mean, you can do recovery.
No, Sunday. This Leomon's playing out a level 3 from the trash bucket.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's another on delete trigger to be like recursive, because it has to also look after his own deck, right? Like the other deck, like the bugs cards in Nature Spirits are bug support.
I would say that it would probably be. Let me just double check.
The Codwood Terriermon's like kind of legit in bugs, so like the Leomon you could reasonably assume would be kind of legit in Leomon.
I think I think it would play out a level 3 mammal or beast.
His tag is gonna be so funny, because he'll evolve over virus blisters or like Elecmon Leomon, like the other ones all do. So it'll just be like the longest black Digivolve box you've ever seen.
Oh, definitely. Okay, so if the on delete, I think switch that. I think that the Angemon is going to have like on deletion do something, and then if you have a virus, play out a mammal or a beast, or play out a mammal, because both Patamon and Salamon are mammals. So you get the recursive idea of like from the show of like Angemon dies to do the bigger thing, but you're still, instead of going straight to like, oh, we're gonna skip the egg part, we'll just go like, just play out a guy.
What if Leomon just had you hatch? What if it was just Analog Boy? Like, it was just Analog Youth on a card?
Egg cheating, that deck would be sick.
I think that could probably be one though. To be fair,
It'd be such a cool line to give that deck.
there's like even the slight nods of like the old Elecmon being like the guardian of the Digimon
Yeah.
egg nursery thing.
Oh, that
That'd
means he
be
could
awesome.
actually end up be like blue-green. Oh, wait, they're all monocolor, so he'd either have to be green or blue. Green makes a lot of sense for if he rehatches.
Mm.
Yeah, fuck it.
Are they all monocolor? The metal Edamon's black and yellow.
I guess, but he's a 6. Like,
Sure.
you're monocolor until you hit like 6s.
Fair enough. Wait, no, Veemon. He's a level 5 black and blue.
You are right.
So
Never
all the
mind.
DNA ones have been, I think, 2 colors.
Bro, it's like
so,
Blue
granted,
Lock,
Leomon's not gonna...
we're just finding new pieces of the puzzle to just make deeply horrendous cards.
Yeah. This is just like we filmed this for Boko, but we're just here to be like, wouldn't it be sick if it's
Kohei
like actual
Murata's actually a
brain.
champion level thing. He's like, yo, they spitting. Write that down.
Yeah, oh my god, Leomon should get a new card. Dude, hey, listen, Murata, dude, if you're listening, you should really consider. I don't know why you. Finally, Excalibur didn't need to give them security back, dude. It's kind of obnoxious. Anyway, the big challenge here is how do you make them all cohesive in their own archetype? I think Terry's like crushed it with Angemon because like reviving from Devimon deletion is very thematic. Leomon, I think, tracks. I like the hatch. I think that like it also gets back to like the Elecmon like egg nursery, like you said, but also like he turns back into the egg in the Digivice in other like iterations of him dying and stuff. So until he got yoinked by Beelzon, he was gonna reincarnate then. The Greymon and Garurumon are trickier. Because they like there's so much source material for Greymon and Garurumon that choosing where they go for is like impossible.
Do we actually think we're going to get tamers in the starter decks?
Yeah, I think we're gonna get
right?
one Tai and one Kari, and one Matt and one DK.
So I was gonna say like none
especially
of the
if the
other
TK went on the ban list.
Yeah, like the other ones.
Oh my god, we'll get
don't
dual
play
tamers.
Yeah, I think
yeah, we'll get dual tamers, but I just wonder if we're gonna get like, what if they were just really obnoxious and they didn't free play the Matt or Tai, they free play the younger tamer, so that way like you still, if you're playing the archetypal dual tamer, but you don't just have another Greymon that free plays a Tai. You have a Greymon that free plays a Kari, which like allows you to use it in like Omnibon.deck and in this, but it doesn't let you just play it in Wargame Pile.
There would be 2 Tai and Karis as well now, which would be crazy.
3.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right, the white one. Oh, dude, that card's so good too. Wow, this deck doesn't exist.
I actually think so. I think the Greymon would probably. I think the Greymon Garurumon would probably do it. And again, like if you lead to the extra step, it'd be like. I think that it'd be something like, play it, and then if there was like a virus on board, delete like I don't know. It's like let's say something with 3,000 or less DP, 2,000, 3,000 less DP, because Greymon could probably like body any rookie or whatever. And then I think for Garurumon to stay within theme, it'd be play it, and then if you have a virus, you draw one to then make up the deficit for playing the tamer.
I could see that.
Yeah,
I could see that. One of the things that I've been trying to work out, like how they would incorporate, is that like one of the names of the star decks are Protector of Light and Hero of Hope, which very much invoke the whole like Magna Angemon and Angemon shooting Tai and Matt to like unlock Warp Digivolve. So like how they'd incorporate Warp Digivolve has been something I've been trying to work out. Like it sort of reads like a Bond evolution, like burn some of your life to evolve all the way up. But like, would that ever go on the inherits? Like, could you do like a Greymon inherit that lets you Warp Digivolve, or like a Garurumon inherit that lets you Warp Digivolve? Or is that like a more likely a level 6 or a level 3 thing, do you think?
I feel
because we've got a lot of warps in like they have option cards that basically let them biomerge. We have like the secrets that warp.
I feel that it would be something like it would be the conditions of like if you have like an Angemon or an Angemon in your trash, like respectively, and then if you're at a certain threshold or something, or it's the specific thing of if it's a virus because they do it happens when they're facing. Yeah, but like obviously they'd have to make it like a big condition, but like you'd have to have like let's say a Gabumon in your trash, an Agumon in your trash, the Angemon in your trash, the Angelmon in your trash, and then you can then warp if they have a virus or something.
Mhm.
I think to make it very, very thematic for that kind of thing.
Would
But
that like go over? Would you like burst the?
I think
I can
that'd
see
be
that being
I
a
think
trash
that's-
effect,
mm. I
like a
think that
trash effect on the 5s. That'd be kind of saucy.
it just probably like load. It's just they're going for it. Or I think that would be what the tamers would do.
Yeah, I can see that too.
I think the tamers would probably be the ones that let you like warp. It'd be like if your opponent has a virus Digimon and you have either the pieces in trash, it lets your Gabumon thing or a Agumon warp into the piece.
Yeah, because the white, like the movie Taikari, they bounce themselves to play a different tamer, right?
They bot deck themselves to draw, and then you can play tamer.
Yeah, so maybe they spin themselves to do the warp, maybe.
That'd be cool. I know. I'm just thinking about like the relation between these two lines.
Oh no, if you're at like one or less security, you put the tamer to the bottom of your security to then warp.
That's totally it.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
the
you're right.
security manipulation too.
It's the last line. It's the last. I think arguably they wouldn't give it a security effect to play itself because I think that'd be overtuned. But I think it would let you place the tamer there as your last line of defense, as well as getting you back into the game.
No, I
That'd be
think that
sick.
tamer is playing itself out of security.
Hmm?
I think tamer cards do tend to cheese the game like that.
I mean, we didn't even think we haven't even touched on the fact that these cards will have a field spell. When we designed Deep Saber,
Yeah,
the field
Virus
spells
Busters.
hasn't been like we didn't know that was a thing that they were putting outside of D Reaper. We do have to make some sort of deeply horrendous like virus subjugation zone level like hate crime card.
Yep. If all your virus busters gain like retaliation against virus Digimon or something.
Oh.
The one I think will be cool as well is like when it, I think
they all get it. Oh, they can't give it Ice Club, but imagine just the fucking like.
Ice Clad is a nightmare. I just my bones hurt thinking about, dude, they're gonna give the Garurumon line Ice Clad for sure, no?
Oh.
Okay, so moving really quick past that, the other thing we know about this starter deck product is that the Agumon and Gabumon have like basically campaign rare versions. So we don't know if it's the same as like the Gold Rapidmon was or like the Gold Beelzemon in the past. We can assume so, but we aren't for sure if it's the same. But that does tend to mean that this is likely a super rare level 3 and level 3 respectively for the decks. So if the warp is on the Agumons or Gabumons, it does make sense. But I do really like the idea of like warping either from the 5s or from the trash and stuff like that.
Yeah, it would be the first time that we've had an SR rookie that warps.
Yeah. Wait, no, we have started at Guilmon and Veemon from ST7 and ST8.
Those are SRs as well, though, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, that and then like Impmon is also a warping SR.
God dang.
Yeah, so yeah, it makes a lot of sense actually for it to like be the SR. Does that mean our level 6s might be kind of like mid? Like, I mean, the 6s in the like pendulum decks haven't been like world beaters. They're kind of just part of a good archetype, like a 7.
Some of them have fared better than others.
Yeah,
have you read those Deep Saber cards are crazy.
Yeah, some of those are really good.
So this is the thing I think it's complicated. I think the 6s in this assumed lineup we're thinking of here are like kind of not in need of a ton of love. Like Diminimon would be cool to get a second card just so you can get more value out of like the Diminimon name specific stuff like Final Excalibur. But like we straight up have BT17, War Greymon, and Melga. Like how much better can I get for Omnimon Turbo?
So they'll give you new aces because think of it this way: the old ones were black and purple, so realistically they'll give you a new. Because like you have the new Piedmon ace, you have a new like metal.
You're right. The like level 6s could be aces because the like Anjuamon and what's it called? Like Anjumon lines could have the other 6s and stuff. Like that would be
it'd
nuts.
be cool as well, especially because you know they're the first aces in the game and they are atrocious like the black and purple one. Like, okay, purple Melga like at least has
Purple
some
Melga
use,
still kind of cooks.
but black War Greymon like terrible, just straight up just like packed full of cards. So it'd be cool to get like new aces that are like diabolical. But I guess that means, yeah, I mean, because we've always had one free play. That's the problem, because it's always been one like play out the ace card and then like contact fuse. That would be what you would do with the like. It's what you would do if you were mixing the decks. Is obviously like, you know, War Greymon play thing, contact fuse, or the other way around. But if it was just buy the deck by itself, that would mean we'd be looking at Domini and Quantum as like your partner ones to then play out the War Grey or Melga ace before we get our, you know, level 7.
To be fair, I think despite the fact that like it would be so typically it looks like for the Myotismon, that one has for the Nightmare Soldiers, that one's what has like the DNA thing. So like arguably I think they would just give the inherits to something like the 5s of that like particular stack instead, because it then gives you a bit more flexibility what you can do. Because I imagine like the Quantum and Domini, if they went for that, would just be the like, for want of a better term, the like, this is the Mammothmon effectively of like your deck. It's like, this is a cool card, but this isn't the power ceiling we're going for.
I just woke up to the nightmare idea that like they would accidentally give Machine Dramon an end of turn DNA inherit. So I think they're gonna have to put that on Anjumon and Magna Anjumon, if I'm honest with you. Also, that stops Omnimon getting another end of turn inherit set of pieces, because like it's probably best that the deck has to use the rookies that it intends you to. Well, so by like sticking it on those cards, it makes it a lot more viable. Also, Angels then getting a DNA line is kind of neat. Like Anjumon with an end of turn inherit means it's not Mastamon backbreaking either. So.
Well, I think it then gives you the potential to use the Angelmon X antibody and stuff, and like more creative with the lines.
Yeah, true.
So I think they'd probably give the DNA thing to like them.
Yeah, I think that would be better, because then you would be evolving over Virus Busters and not just giving Greymons and Garurumons end of turn DNA. Because like end of turn DNA in Melga sounds like a problem. I'm not gonna hold you.
So I imagine that'd be the inheritable.
What do I know? They gave Deep Sabers a field spell.
And I then think it'd be, let's see, like Anjou, I think the Magna, if they gave it, would do like another search for like a Virus Buster and recover. I think they'd give it that generic one.
I think we could get another Magna that plays out of security too. I think like maybe he could be like search or play from security. I think that could be something to consider, because like the 16 Magnamon can do that as well, which is really strong. That way, double dips is like Angel support, Domini support.
Essentially, I feel one of them would search. I think one of them would play and one of them would search. I think would be the thing, but they would both. I think, because here's the weird part about this. I think that the search would be very weird, because remember that we have to account for like the face up
the field spell effectively. Yeah. Oh, that's a great point. Yeah, security searching isn't something we've had to worry about in field decks, because if you all don't know, if you have to search and shuffle security, all face up security goes face down.
I think the only way they could remedy that for you, to give you the like if they're going to like cripple it in the sense of like the Virus Buster, hey, I think it would generally be like it would have to be something like shuffle, like you would have to do it where you would, if you have a virus thing, you would effectively like keep that one face up, you remove the thing, shuffle it. Actually, I think the way they would do it is they would potentially do it where you can make one of your either recover, or it would be like if your say your Virus Buster's field spell was in your security, you just go, oh sick, pull it out.
Yeah, I was gonna say it might be on a. You could put it on a tamer where like you just start of main, take one card out of your security, shuffle, and then put a thing. Like every time you do it, you get to like, I don't know, effectively burn one.
I think it'd just be like it would just be put a Virus Buster trait card.
Yeah.
Like, but I think they put it face up. You get no value from it if it was just a Digimon per se, but it's not necessary. But to balance out the like recovery aspect, but it does let you put your field spell up and then go, all right, cool.
In
This is
theory,
a-
if you have that on a tamer as well, it kind of helps with angel decks where if it's on like maybe not a vaccine, if you put it on angel and you put it on virus buster, it means that like the hit to 1 TK allows you to still kind of do the TK thing without necessarily printing another war criminal.
I see the vision. I also think like there are assumptions we're making because the others have had field spells that like this one will have a field spell.
They might just
not
give up
out of
on it.
Yeah, they might give it to it later in like the second wave of support for it and stuff like that. But like my supposition is that these cards will be able to work together because they're virus busters, and like virus buster pure support will come at a different point. But I love the idea of the field spells. They're just so cool.
Yeah.
And like whenever we get Gammamon or whatever, then we'll finally get virus buster stuff.
That's your thing for the comments. Design the field spell that you would put in what you would put in our virus busters. What field spell would you design?
Oh, I forgot. We didn't do the Gatomon. I'm trying to figure out what Gatomon would do.
I desperately want her to be more like Revelation of Light, like Andromon security manipulation support, because I think that like variant of Yellow Vaccine is really fun to play with.
Like security.
Yeah, burn your own stuff to do things is like cool. They kind of some parts of me think Dynasmon has kind of stolen that, and maybe if that's for the best. Like maybe Yellowvac can just sort of become angels, and then like Dynasmon can do like the security manipulation, but Gatomon and Andromon Ace are like a fun package combo to like play with, so I would be keen to see how.
I think if it was going to be overtuned, thinking off the top of my head, the way that most ones are, its security effect I think would be if it has virus busters in trait, it would actually do like a security minus like effect. Because to be fair, I think all of your guys would be I think your Greymon line would be huge.
Yep.
Or like your Gurumon line would be huge, but those support cards would be small, so to give you that extra little bit of protection. And I think this would be the interesting time to give you a security Gatomon that plays itself after the battle, and then it could be like on play. I think it would be something like ideally want it to be like the BT16 Gato, where it'd be like, I don't know, trash a card to add back X, and then if you had a virus buster, then you could if there was a virus on board, you would recover one, or something like that.
Or sec minus.
Or sec minus, or sec minus, or something. I think that
this one kills a virus, right? Because like the Gatomon line killed Myotis. Like this could be where like -6 if they have a virus. Oh, this is a clapback out of security if you're playing a virus deck.
I think that one is also kind of fair because the like older Gatomon used to have like an on-play effect of like -X thing if you had a purple on board.
This would be
this time it flips it. So now this one you flips it if they have a virus on board.
Yeah.
It'd be like what? Okay, how like what's reasonable?
In modern Digimon, straight up 6,000. It's got to shrink a chump blocker.
So, but how big are the chump blockers now? Are they 6 or is it 5?
5 to 6.
Because I was gonna say like 6.
If it's pushed, 6 is good.
6 is crazy because Hellscythe is -12 when you bring this thing back.
Well, maybe Hellscythe's the problem. Not my card that I'm designing. Hellscythe's the problem. Look, I don't know. If twist my arm, I'll make it 4,000. But like, I think it would need to kill a lot of level 4s because Gatomon can fight and kill level 4s. So
how much is Lightning Paw?
So Lightning Paw just deletes all like four level 3s.
Yeah. Just jobs a bunch of small like 2s and 3,000s, right?
Oh yeah, because I guess she just like domes the floodgates.
How about this? Instead of like its security effect is to play itself, and it's on play when digivolving -2k. However, for each virus that your opponent has, it scales up to a certain amount, like obviously, but like I think you couldn't go like it'd be interesting to go like the lightning pop, like it couldn't do like one instance of 2k to a Digimon. So in theory, you can pop like a Myotismon if they happen to scale out the little minions or something.
It comes out of security against Kenny Mummy Loop, and at minus 21,000 something. That's sick. I love that.
Or we just make it like it can delete a level 4 lower virus or something. Like I think that's probably the balancing act of it.
If I'm getting full copy here and we just want to push a Gatomon, I would like to see them give Gatomon Uber's effect to another Gatomon and like have it the ability to take something out of trash.
Oh, it can bottom deck a virus. It can. I think that's how. If you have a virus, you can bottom deck one to recover, or bottom deck one to minus.
Take a card take a card out of a discard pile to give that player a security.
Or you bottom deck it to do minus DP times the level.
What if you just didn't bottom deck it and you just put it in security? What if you just degged it from like you degged something from trash?
Yo,
like the Levia X player goes word and you go get that shit in security.
I think that one would be interesting because so I think it should be security Digimon, and then on play when digivolving or whatever, it can bottom deck or like put a card from your opponent's trash security to do minus whatever. But I think it could scale to like times the level or something. Because
I see that.
Like 1,000 DP per level. So if you do a 6, you're doing 6k, which is insane. But like they've had to have that set up.
Yeah, like why is there 6 in trash unless I don't know. You first check a level 7 in security and go, word.
Yeah, you're playing against Luzamon.
Your Leomon goes and hunts down a Blitz Omni, and the Gatomon goes, dinner.
I like these 4s. I think we've cooked.
Yeah, these are sick. Okay, ultimates. Does Asiromon make the cut?
No, I don't think in the starter decks. I think down the line he could though, but not in the starter decks.
Yeah,
he's a cool Evo for Leomon though.
I bet he just have raid barrier. I'm telling you right now.
I think he's a great candidate to be the level 5 that DNAs. That's the other thing.
Do the level 5s DNA? Oh right, yeah. Now that's the thing that we have. Yeah, now that we have to account for that. Yeah.
Like that would be a cool pick for that. I think Anjumon and Magna Anjumon feel like they could be like trash effects to warp. No, obviously we've got that on like the megas, but like some permutation of that will be somewhere, I think. I'm gonna be honest with you boys. I smell a belligerent set of Metal Garurumons and Wergarurumons coming. Because they need to keep them out of like Omnimon Turbo does not play the level 5s really. Like it has occasionally dipped into Skull Greymon. So like in terms of like supporting its original archetypes and being a Virus Busters card, I suspect that these are going to be like, it's a Greymon and Garurumon card. I bet it'll be like when attacking unsuspend, if you're unsuspended, draw a card. Like that's basically how you'd hammer spark with all your mats and stuff. Or like the ties will be like gain DP or like gain a security attack if you're raiding or something. Like the last set of starter decks for the Great Agumon line were like gain a memory when attack target changes. I could see that being like, if we want to continue to tie it to virus stuff, it could be like when a virus attacks, take a memory, or like when a virus attacks, draw a card.
Ooh.
Because both the tamers would kind of go for something like that. But, it could be an interesting little puzzle. I think it does need to sort of revolve around their like attack redirection synergy and card draw synergies to like tie into Greymon and Garurumon dot deck. Because like especially if you want to relate it to like 14 tie and 15 mat. So we have to see how that goes.
I think weirdly, that would be interesting is them just at that just being their like passive effects. And then their inherits could be something pretty interesting. What was I going to think for their inherits?
Would it be like just keywording?
I mean, I maintain they shouldn't have end of turn DNA, but I think keywords are also a challenge for this one because anything you give these two cards, you risk giving to Melga and Wargrey. So, like, I don't want them to get barrier, for example. Like easy on the yellow stuff is the concern.
Unironically, like as a callback to this, I think one of them would be a redirect. The other one would be can't be redirected.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you're kind of right.
Imagine if you give Melga can't be redirected in name. It's fine. They probably need it or something.
I feel it'd be so. I feel honestly that'd be something they would give them though, but it'd be.
Yeah.
I feel it would be condition locked
Would it be
under
the
something.
other way around to be really cheeky? Because like both Melga X's are blockers. Like little known fact.
I could see that being, to be fair, because like being unredirectable as a Greymon leans into the like, bro, I'm just gonna dome you, my guy. Like,
Yeah, like when your
this-
War Grey X pile hits you for 5 checks, I'm not reading the word blocker. I'm hitting you in the head.
I love taking 5 off that card too. Yoink, give me that memory back.
I think they would actually be. Yeah, I think you'd be right. I think they'd be sort of like swapped, because I think it would also tie into. I think it'd be like an interesting throwback to like their older support, but not like supporting the older aces, because I think in the way around it would support the other aces quite well.
Mm-hmm. I see the vision.
Yeah, because I mean, okay, both aces were kind of defensive when they came out. You could argue, I guess Melga was a little bit more aggressive because it had a bit more like
kind of a zero cost
gaining 3 memory is always good. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just thinking like I think the X antibodies kind of swing me in that favor of like, what if they were just like truly belligerent in the X antibody decks? And then yeah, for the 5s, I wouldn't be surprised if later like EX like Mamemon's always be searching, so I wouldn't be surprised if like the EX9 Mamemon just be searching.
Yeah, play the Tamers, Virus Buster in text or something. The thing is, this would be the first time that we got Virus Buster Tamers. So I don't even necessarily think we'll get Virus Busters on the Ties and Karis and all of those. I think like we're much more likely to get them work on the names in the archetype, and then like the Mamemon could find Virus Busters, like play Virus Busters up to a play cost or something, and then add the rest to hand. Or if you did not play, add 1 to hand. That could be. That's like a weirdly restrictive effect to give a black level 5.
It'd be interesting if the playing the sibling, if you just made it on play when Digivolving, so that way if you free played one of the Grey Garurumon, then you still get your Tamers hit if you've got that.
Well, I think in fairness, I think that's what one of the like if we're looking at the theme of like the level 7s, they all, for the archetypes, they all do something insane, and then when you DNA digivolve, you play X. So I think that would be the best way to be the payoff for like the Omni, or like them, or if they're gonna do it, the Mass Day. Also, that in theme of idea of just going, okay, I'll just play like 3 dudes. Fuck it, why not?
Mm-hmm.
Like depending on, I think that'd probably be like the pay, like them having on plays would be the payoff for you getting to your level 7 of just going, here we go. Imagine dropping the Gato to do like minus something. You drop to get a surge, like the Angemon, like one of them would be like everything gets, all of your like memories gets blocker or something. Like it would just be insane.
I can go for that. That lines up with the other support too, because it means that like the power budget is still on the right cards. Angemon is tricky.
I mean, what do we think the Magna Angemon was going to do? He was going to like Dimini slide, right?
Yeah, I think he's going to Dimini slide. The thing is, like, these 2 cards, like Angemon as a name is kind of also a Mastemon card every time they print her, right? So it's like, I think Virus Hate makes the most sense to have it here, but like maybe like a security burn effect that kind of calls back to the original Mastemon. It calls back to modern BT15 Kari stuff, and then like I don't know, if your opponent's got a Virus Chaos deck, something as like an inherent on attack could be kind of powerful. Like if this Digimon has Virus Busters as a trait, place an opponent's Digimon into the security.
What if it was just a big shrink? Like they've started putting like generic minus 3k shrink on shit like a Sukamon inherit, so
yeah, give it like a -6, give it like a Centralmon shrink if you're a Virus Buster. Like I could see that.
No. You simply you make it Chaperone. Like it's like, let's say a reasonable, like if Gato was say gonna be 2, you scale it up to be 3. But if you're leaning into, instead of, if this has Virus Busters, I think you'd have to put it as Virus Busters or / vaccine in its traits. You scale up to like, I don't know, 6 or like something. Or you do an extra like 4k, so you can pop in theory, a weaker like level 5.
Okay,
I
yeah.
can see the vision.
Yeah, I like that. And
This-
then Omegas.
I think Wargrey and Milga are gonna be kind of underwhelming this time. I think they'll probably still have like I almost don't think these guys will be the aces. I think it's more likely that we got like a Digimon or a what's it called?
Quantum Ace.
Quantumon Ace, yeah, because like giving the mini an ace would help the Angels deck a lot, and this deck doesn't really like Wargram and Melgarura have aces already. Thinking about this,
I could see that. I could see the Omnimon payoff being like, well, you have to play these worse cards to get the better
yeah, get the
Omni.
big Omnimon, yeah, because like the existing Omnimon sixes are like reduce their cost cards or like cheater cards, so giving it a second set of those to play with would be strong in its own deck and in the starter deck's Virus Buster context.
I guess what's interesting as well is if we think about stuff like Eldoradimon as it plays the ace, so that would allow the Wargrey and Melga to like play each other for Omnimon Turbo and then play the aces for Virus Buster intended starter deck synergy.
I could see that. Like reveal, play the ones out, and it's like play Virus Buster trait or other name.
Yeah.
God, I can't wait to whiff on that. That would be funny. Although the payoff is obscene, right? Like on evolve the Wargrey pass turn by playing Melga.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Hear me out. Could Dimini change something's typed? Could Dimini like play something
Oh my
out?
God, I can make it a Voxy or make it a virus.
Oh, or Quantum can do it.
I think Quantum.
I think Quantum could do something like that. Like it'd be like I think. So the old Quantum does what? Put something into your security to do
to
X,
reveal
right?
reveal security.
Reveal security loop.
And then you get to like dead draw someone every turn, question mark. For protection. So I mean, yeah, changing something to a virus would be interesting.
I could see the vision.
What if she just straight up polymorph something?
Like,
could Dimini play something and blanket virus for the turn? That everything that your opponent has becomes a virus until the end of their turn.
That's gnarly.
Okay.
That's gnarly.
Because it will still be like old support for that, but like imagine
that. I mean, changing things to viruses would help the Virus Busters, but like I think also like still like playing. I think maybe it plays an Angel, then polymorphs everything to viruses.
Oh yeah,
that way.
Because you can play imagine like the idea if they gave it Rush the BT14 is like boys, you're all getting.
Yeah.
Yeah, you summon Angemon's like, go get him, champ. Sick him, boys.
I could see that. That'd be sauced. Would be a crazy game warping effect, but I mean, I guess you are risking overflow by playing a Digimon that's not the protected one. So
yeah, and then like
I think saucy for the Angels deck though, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, in Angels you'd have Cherubi and then also the mini.
Yeah, that's and Shadow Seraphie Ace. Like Angels is so cool. I don't know what's happening to me where I'm just like an Angels guy right now. I think it's because he has a lightsaber. I think it's just cool.
Then Quantum.
Oh, I think is Quantum meant to be for like the Salamon line?
Yeah, Angelmon.
I think it'd be something by again. It's slightly more advantage for you, but by putting one of your Digimon with the Virus Busters trait to like the bottom of your security, it would do X. I think I want it to just like I think it'd be something either like a trash security kind of angle, which would be a bit insane, but like at this point it'd be basically the Lucamon effect, but like on a like slightly lower scale. Or I think it'd have to be something similar to the old, because the old Quantum would like put something to the like top, or you could put something to like the top of the deck instead. Mm-hmm. It's not a complete loss of a resource, but it's like that kind of thing.
What if she just hunted delays?
Oh, more delay, it's fun.
What if she was just like the, analyze the code. No delays for you.
I could see that. She's also like the thing with Quantumon is like she would have to be very heavily influenced by Virus Buster as a tag, otherwise she goes back to Plant Fairy.
Yeah.
So I think my thing is by putting a Virus Buster to the thing, you put one of your opponent's options to the bottom of their security or the top or bottom of it, because it doesn't completely get rid of it per se, but it puts it to where you can deal with it later. And then I'm imagining one of your level 7s is going to be like fuck it, I'll just trash the security for no goddamn reason.
Yeah.
Because I think that would give you the option of like, it's not completely unfair because you're still giving them like Chaos Deck putting something to the bottom was like whatever, but this is like putting the option to either the top or the bottom gives you like, well, I can either deal with this later or I deal with this now kind of vibe.
Am I stupid? Why?
He's Eldradi. It's stupid.
That is stupid.
He's my goat.
End of your turn DNA on play when digivolving. Alright, what's the other... Oh, if I just do NSO. What's the other level 6?
Oh, well, it's weird because there isn't a second 6 in this one. It's currently it's Talismon is the new DNA level 6 that we just had revealed, the purple and green guy.
Yeah, this guy.
Which is a crazy ad. I don't even think this dude is like officially appeared in Digimon media in a minute. But the DNA piece with with Pied Ace is Myotis.
Yeah, I was just looking to see if we have any like all turns, because what if she was just like by putting one of your NSO your Virus Busters in security, put one of their option cards in security. When a card is added as a security, burn in security.
Oh, that's gnarly. I love that.
She just kind of does like the
I think the thing was if your opponent has a virus, all turned if your card's at zero, if your opponent has a virus, burn it. So that way you can either naturally just go mess you up, or it's a delayed thing with like imagine going Domini, making everything virus, they swing, dropping your Quantum Ace to then go boop boop and then burn.
We are either creating the hardest Demon Lords counter God could possibly design, or the fairest deck we should never have tried. But I'm so in on the virus hate that I think it's hilarious. Because like the idea of what we're describing is a deck that just essentially stops your opponent doing anything if they have virus tagged Digi. They're getting DP minus, they're losing security, they're losing their trash. It's just like, bro, you ain't playing.
No, but like
nice free types.
But this is the thing. I think this is a very interesting like Digimon doesn't.
It's literally rock paper scissors. Like you sat at the DM, you're like, I hope you pick paper.
Yeah, I think this is a very interesting way to do it though, because you're still like generically fine. I think this is like, how do I want to put this? There's like, I would liken it to like the domain monarch like starter deck for Yu-Gi-Oh, where like this is the thing you pick. This is the one you pick up and go. If I am in the room and this happens to go right, I can pick up this deck and I'm straight up winning.
You hit like, nothing but Demon Lords and Leviamons on the day. Your Virus Busters will win a regional.
And then your round one, you don't hit your virus. Like, bro, it's okay, I clutch up. You hit the Galantmon Andy, who just remembered that Galantmon is a virus. You kill him, and then you hit Demon Lords for the rest of the day. And it's like, yeah,
I'll never recover.
I think this makes it interesting. So I think it'd be like, I feel these would be more like premium decks, and I think it'd be the idea that this is a deck that you could play. It's funny that both of these decks are something you could play like competitively speaking, on the off chance that you like hit the proper matchups, you're just straight winning.
Yep.
But otherwise, they are of a power level that's like, it's a modern Digimon deck, but it's not insane. If you're running if you get the vaccine mirror match, you're like, it's
a sack fest. Whoever drew the ride line won the game.
Like, imagine you both like they're trying to quantum each other to make each other viruses, and then you each overflow each other for no
terrible.
Yeah, we actually didn't put a lot of degging. Yeah, I think we've gone crazy. The last thing is, so we know Proxima is not getting one.
Yeah, I think Mastermind is complicated because technically in the Virus Busters VPET, you need to use this to make like the little fields there. It'll say like the Nightmare Soldiers one is that you make Mastemon in your Nightmare Soldiers VPAT by fusing with Virus Busters or Nature Spirits, right? So like any of the cross family VPATs get a little funny because technically it's in every family that its sources come from. So like I think there's a world that they start doing like the next Mastemon, I don't think will evolve with the tags. I think it'll just be Anjuamon and Lady Devimons that are in future printed for their fields that happen to help Lady Devimon. So like, we could get instead of a scapegoat Lady Devimon, we could get one that's like, what's a good Nightmare Soldiers effect that we've liked? Like I don't know, like a hand rip inherit. Like that's a Nightmare Soldier Z effect. Or like instead of a Nature Spirits, like instead of Alliance on the late Andromon, the Nature Spirits Andromon could be like
Just give it piercing.
Yeah, give it piercing. I'm dead ass. So like I think Mastemon will borrow from the families it steals from, but I do not expect a Virus Busters Mastemon.
Yeah, that's fair.
Sorry to let down the Virus Busters guys, but like I think that deck is too tied to Mirai. Omnimon though, he's too much a like iconic level 7 Digimon to not squeeze him in. So we'll see.
What does this idiot do again?
Welcome to the paragraph. He shrinks and gets bigger if he's got Gallant X, and then it's when Digivolving, end of attack, pop, if no pop, burn, unsuspend.
I think just looking at like the red, blue, yellow, I think an unsuspend is pretty reasonable because it goes with, you know, Omni.
Okay, I'm listening.
I think if it's going to do DP minus, it's gonna be like a little dickhead number, like something tiny to like.
It'll shrink everything that is at 3,000 to 0 to kill Diaboromons.
I like that. I was actually just gonna say, what if it gave you some like weird shrinks? You get like a 1k shrink, a 2k shrink, and a 3k shrink, and then you just get to bounce everything of the same DP, like lowest DP. So you get to like do some math and just tell everything to fuck off.
I mean, as long as Omnimon beats Diaboromon, I'm cool with it.
Yeah, honestly, the minus 3k
the other
actually
thing
makes
about like giving it. The other thing about giving it unsuspends and burns is Omnimon gets that from his Greymon and Garurumon sources. So unless this dude's about to burn 3 unsuspend twice, we're gonna have some problems.
Yeah.
Let's see. What would he do? So when Digivolving, you would do something.
Yeah, well, he'll be when Digivolving and when DNAing. I think that's how they'll separate him from a Virus Busters effect and a Omnimon Toolbox effect.
Do we make like it when DNAing he then gets to attack? Like he still just has that Blitz Omni in him for real?
No,
for real?
I actually think they'll keep the attack to the Matt Tai Duo Tamer, and that's how they'll restrict it from being that in Virus Busters. I think that's how they'll power budget it to the Omnimon deck. What I expect is they'll give the Omnimon like a Alter S style when I would be deleted recovered security. The way that Alter S is like when he leaves the battle area, you go to the bottom of security. I think we could get an Omnimon that goes to the top of security.
What if he just then Zwart these? What if he's just straight security? Like,
play me from security?
Do something fucked up.
I could see it, or like revive the pieces.
What were you thinking, Terry?
Like in security, if I'm checked, play a Warg or a Melga. I need it. Don't worry.
What are you thinking, Terry?
So let's see. Oh, that's interesting, because I'm trying to figure out like how it goes this week. So I want it to be when Digivolving. When Digivolving, it would have to do with some form. I think with some form of like shrink. Or hear me out, because they don't do this as not enough. When Digivolving, you can set the DP to something. You can set the DP. You can set the DP of something to like, I don't know. Let's arguably say like 3K. And then if your DNA Digivolving to go with the red, I think you could then delete up to like, let's see, what would it be? Arguably, let's say your security, like up to the number of your security, you can either delete or bounce that like a certain level of DP of Digimon. So like if it be because you can then go like you would set like I don't know or minus let's say 5k and then you can go blow up one extra Digimon of DP next and bounce one to go with the blue and yellow. And then it'd probably have another insane one attacking effect, just like I don't know, just like trash on suspend or something like that because it's an Omnimon.
These effects are a lot better than Raid and Blocker, which are the two things that Omnimon most recently does. So I'm into this.
Yeah, like part of me is trying to figure like how does this card still kill the Aboromon?
I think as long as it
minute,
chooses a level to DP minus and like shrink all the 6s or whatever.
Ooh.
What do you? Yeah.
Can we actually make it the yellow part being the polymorph of name, just straight up? You can change.
Oh my god! You change the freaking main stack to not being called Diaboromon.
Or you could change no, but because like to throw back to the Omnis deleting something of like the old OG one deleting everything of the same name. Imagine it's just like you know what, I am king here. You can change the name to of like for. Ooh, I wonder for each color, could you do something like for the sources? Because assuming these are going to be difficult, for each color in this Digimon Digivolution source, like when Digivolving, change the name of a Digimon to X, and then when DNA Digivolving, delete color name, delete all of them.
That's sick.
Yeah, that's sick actually.
Because the payoff being of like you've managed to get your multiple stacks. Let's assume the quantum was like the similar colors. Dimini might be like, so Dimini would probably be blue yellow. Quantum would be weirdly for some reason a different color. Like, well, let's arguably say red yellow. Just the thing. So you can potentially get like the two colors there, or something along those lines. I think just being able to just change the name of something would be insane because it's just something that's done in Digimon, but not too much like effect. And then its protection effect is if with this card, you could just have a protection effect, all turns with this will leave the area by deleting, declare a name, delete something to prevent it from leaving.
I can see the vision.
I can see it. I think it would be really interesting if, like, obviously Omnimon doesn't show up in the Bond movies, but I was just thinking about like how this also kind of like caps Eosmon. Being able to change the name off of Eosmon so the Manoas can't protect is actually a really, really cool way of like looking at just like mass removal.
That'd be funny. I see the vision.
Yeah, I really like. I was also thinking like, oh, I don't know, maybe if it's just like the instead of delete, like what is a more aggressive removal? What if you just deg and then burn? Like you're not actually going security thing, but you like deg everything of the name called and then trash for the number of cards removed.
Okay, yeah, that's sick because that gets rid of all the tokens and then brings Diaboromon.
Oh yeah, wait, doesn't that like super ultra? No, because they're not actually getting degged technically because they can't leave play. So you're not gonna like 5-0.
A token can't go to security. So
yeah, so
sending them to security removes the token from the battle area. It's essentially as good as the Omnimon right now, which bot decks all the tokens, then deletes Diaboromon.
I think chaos deck. I think chaos decking for like the number you do, the name that you do would be kind of just funny because just like I just want it to be like a Demon Lord player just there. You're like I don't know, man. You're all gonna be something different anyway.
Like, your name is Clive.
That's so funny.
Yeah, we've cooked with this one. I can't wait to find out that they were like, and they just put some nonsense decode on everything. Yeah, what if it just had decode? What if it
it's gonna have decode? Partition. It's the Omnimon with partition. Yeah. No, we can't. That's not Virus Busters flavor. That's just Omnimon flavor.
No, yeah, you're right.
That's just Omnimon flavor. I'm getting lost in the sauce.
I like our
this
Omnimon.
Is virus hate as hell, which is very Virus Busters.
When Marcio talks about his racist knights, he's talking Lon Knight. When we're talking about our racist knights, Omnimon wakes up like, Omnimon, man, I hate viruses.
He hates Diaboromon. He's not even a virus. Isn't that funny? Diaboromon is like unknown.
Yeah, he's unidentified. Oh yeah, unknown.
Very silly.
No, he actually. The only thing is he just hates his twin brother. Zwart is Zwart. No,
yeah, Zwart is a virus.
One of them is a virus. It's just like no, I just hate my brother.
Bro, the Omnimons all hate each other. That's canon. Alter S is a virus, I believe.
Zwart D is a virus.
Because Alter S fuses out of 2 viruses.
As well as a vaccine, and then yeah, that makes sense. The hell is this? All right, Gankumon plays Omnimon. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I think this is funny as hell. I think we once again cooked. What other ones do we have coming up? It's Metal Empire and
Metal Empire and Wind Guardians. Wind Guardians is a sitter. It's mostly plants and birds.
I think we
Wind
probably
Guardians
do
literally
that one
just
next.
got terriermon, so like
Yeah,
I could see us doing Wind Guardians next. There's again like plants and birds overwhelmingly. Like this one is a very green and red VPET.
yeah, because none of these guys are in Liberator, right? Like no one's.
There are no Commandromons in Liberator.
Yeah, there's no Liberator, so I think we've got time on Metal Empire. I think Wind Guardian is more likely to show up.
I could see it. I also, again, like I think Cernumon is like he's very eagerly anticipated. Also with so Omnimon, he's kind of a weird duck out, but like between Bolt Boutmon, Aegistramon, Cernumon, and Chaosdramon, there is a DNA for all of the Dark Masters. So, yeah, an interesting one to see out of the VPETs. So, yeah. Let us know what you think in the comments. Remember, we want to know what you think the field spell is going to do for the Virus Busters. I kind of expect the Virus Busters to be like low-key, just sort of a like... I think considering how much security manipulation we're doing, I almost wonder if the field spell will not be that crazy broken. I think we've created some stupid Digimon here.
It'd be really funny if it just was like reverse Congo. It's like, no,
Brother,
stop
what if
putting
it's something
cards in
stupid
security.
like barrier? Like if it's just like your Virus Busters have barrier. Like, oh my god.
I think it'd be barrier, or funnily enough, I think I would want them to do something like I think I would want them to give them one of the decoy. Just imagine just going like, "All right, boys, like you can't protect the mini anyway. Anyway, I'll blow up my Angemon, get a guy back out. Don't worry about it. Once return, just like
Decoy actually would go foolish if you have an inherent barrier.
They should give you Digivolve immunity as the field spell. I think they deserve it. That's how I feel. Just me.
And let us know how you feel in the comments.
No, they put it instead of going to the top, they put it at the bottom. While you have three or more security, you gain protection.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I like it.
Nightmare. Not the soldiers, just for gameplay.
Alrighty, but yeah, that's our heinous list. I look forward to being still more balanced than whatever Bandai puts out. But yeah, this was fun. Thank you, champions, for seeing this a month early. I am not going to go cast a regional, as much as it would be really funny to do so at midnight at the time of recording. But yeah, we'll be back next week, hopefully with something else. Maybe Terry will be around. We'll try and plan things. Bye.
Season 2.
Okay, bye-bye.